Are you ready to listen to this podcast? Brought to you by Chris Domo and myself. Welcome back, guys. It's Reviewing the Call. We've got a bunch of sports. We got playoffs, obviously, going in the baseball world. And we are somewhat sad, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's get back to the episode because I'm excited. There's been a bunch of stuff happening in my life this week. My in-laws finally we grabbed the majority of their stuff from Houston. So I've been in Houston all week moving furniture and reorganizing the office. So now the house in Dallas kind of feels like more of a home vibe. You know what I mean? So It's been cool. I was off today, and our buddy Joel and his son came over, and they had a play date with my daughter, and it was nice to see both of the little ones because they're like 6 weeks apart. So seeing them kind of run around was pretty dope.
Gigi's older.
Yeah. No, Jacob's older. Joel's son.
Okay.
Joel's son is older by 6 weeks. So it's funny because when he was born, I was actually flying back from LA. I remember it. When he was born in that year or whatever, 3 years ago, I was flying back from LA when he was at the hospital when they were having him. So that's a pretty good memory. But we'll see. This weekend I watched wrestling. I celebrated a birthday. Kind of had lunch. Saw my mom. That was pretty cool. How about you guys?
Not much.
Go for it, Doma.
I worked all week basically. Saturday. Oh man. Okay, so we don't have to get too much into it, but Saturday I worked. Obviously, keeping up with the UT game. They lost to Oklahoma. That put me in a bad mood a bit before I got off of work. So I had to work all day, then had to see that. But after that, just kind of hung out, and then Sunday I fired up the grill, just did some chicken, some bratwurst. The baby was playing, or I say baby, he's old enough now. My son's out front playing with my wife and playing with the chalk in the driveway. Watched football on Sunday. I really didn't go anywhere. Actually, I went to the store, got a couple of things, got back home, realized I forgot to get charcoal, so I had to go back to the store. Luckily, it was all before like 9 o'clock in the morning, before everybody came out. That's about it. Just work, and my teams are not winning games, but that's about it.
Hey, we're on the same boat
No
there,
fishing
bro.
this week. Didn't fish this week. That's about it. Chris?
Me, bro. I actually had a really good weekend. I had my first ever. I've tracked bass before. I've done studio work and stuff like that, but I had my first live recording for an album, and it was
Nice.
an experience, bro. It was amazing. It was exhausting. That whole week I was pretty much at the church all day. Right after work and just straight rehearsals every 5 seconds. But it was amazing, bro. Sunday I was there doing that. I left the church around like 4 p.m. 4:30 maybe, and so far, it was a blessing, but it was an experience because I finally got to experience something like I said, I had studio work done a lot of times before, but never something live, where if you mess up, that's it. I mean, you can always overdub in studio afterwards, but the goal is to get it right the first time. But it was amazing, man. It was amazing. My parents went, obviously my wife and my baby. And yeah, it was awesome, bro. It was awesome. I wouldn't change it for the world.
I know what you mean. I've done some, I haven't played drums in a long time, but I played since I was a little kid, and I've been in some metal bands and stuff like that. But doing some of the live stuff, it is like, okay, this is how I do it. But like in the moment and based off what everybody else is doing and feeling, it does change everything in a sense of like, okay, I got it perfect, but it's like, oh no, somebody does this, goes off the rails or whatever. You got to bring it back.
Just a quick kind of like thing that happened was in one of the songs. So I try to, in music we say like stay in the pocket. Kind of not explore too much because it's got to be perfect. Yep. So I was, all the songs I was in the pocket, but there was this one song. It's called "Firm Foundation," and there's a lick that I couldn't get right in my rehearsals, in my personal rehearsals. I wanted to do the lick, but it always came out kind of like out of time. I just didn't land with the kick again. So I was like, no, I'm just not gonna do it. I'll play it, in the pocket. And in the moment, bro, I was like, no, I gotta do the lick. So I did it. It came out like legit. Like I couldn't have asked for a better timing of it. it got hit, and I don't know, like, we've all played music before, so like, you ever look at the other musicians whenever they do something, you're like, oh, you give them that like stank face, we say, so
Yeah.
so everybody looked,
I
and I
was
was
just
like,
about to ask.
I landed it, bro. So and I did a whole bunch of licks throughout the whole thing, but that was the one that was kind of like very quick for me, and I was like, no, I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm just believing myself, and I'll do it, and it just landed. So
Did
it was just
everybody
one of those
follow
moments.
along? Did
What's
everybody
up?
follow along? It landed good, and did
Yeah,
everybody
it was
follow along
perfect,
with it?
bro.
Like, oh, okay,
The
nice,
one- the
perfect,
the
nice,
one
nice.
little thing that happened though is that the one of the singers in one of the songs, I can't remember which song it was, they came in a little too early, so we kind of had to adjust ourselves a little bit. But besides that, no one noticed. It was just like the musicians knew what happened, but we were
Yeah.
able to accommodate and fix it on our end. So, but it was 10 out of 10, bro. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Nice.
10 out of
Nice.
10. Would recommend. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. And with like live recordings and stuff like that, like it's got to be nerve wracking because like Domo was saying, like you've already done this so many times, but in front of an audience or whatever, like knowing it's going to be live recorded it's a little bit
The
different.
fact of knowing that, like, okay, like what's played, and they can edit and everything like that, but it's not like you're playing the same song 5 times in a row and they can take the best parts of it. It's a live show, boom, and they can just do the sounds, like kind of even things out. But if you mess up timing or something like that, there's only so much they can do trying to make it smooth. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, seems like an experience. Happy for you to do that, bro.
bruh.
Carlos is still missing, so he should be back. He's saying hopefully next week or in the coming week, so we'll get him back on board too. So hopefully he's got all his stuff figured out. I know he said he's
like
been
a whole
working
month or
too.
2 months, bro.
So that's Carlos's update.
He's on his grind.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into it tonight. Chris, hit us up with our baseball stuff, man. Let's start it up.
I wasn't ready.
It's a live recording, bud.
I know, man. I didn't have my cues ready, man.
He's
I'm not editing
accused.
this at all. I'm leaving this on there.
Don't edit this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard that?
Edit this.
I'm not going to edit this at all.
Dude, I don't know where it is.
All right.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
well, this failed. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Welcome to our reviewing the call baseball segment. Our audio guy will.
There it is.
Wow. Our audio guy
Me out to the
is
ball
going
game.
to have a talking to after the recording tonight. All right, so it is October baseball. Like last week, if you guys followed along and saw us on YouTube or saw our Instagram reels and TikToks, I appreciate you guys for all the support. Seriously, it's a tremendous help. Just hit the like button and share it. We love that. That's all we can ask for. But if you guys followed along, we did give our predictions for the wild card series. Some predictions fell through, but we are in the divisional round now. I think most teams have played. Well, no, 2 teams have played their 3 games already. But there's teams that are waiting to play the 3rd game tomorrow. So we're going to start off with probably the biggest elephant in the room with the LA Dodgers because, as you guys know from last year, we're Dodgers fans.
That's the only reason why it's the biggest elephant in the room.
So that's why we're going to start off with that because we just want to say what the hell is happening over there in LA. Whether it's Dave Roberts, Kershaw, what happened, bro? I was getting a talking to because they were like, we got to stay positive. I don't care about positive. Give me 6 innings, not 6 runs that you allow in. Chris, what are your feelings? Because I am very upset, obviously.
All right, we'll start off with game 1, and then we'll keep moving. Game 1, man, I was so hyped. I'm a big number 22 fan, Clayton Kershaw. He's a vet. Everybody put all hands on deck. With his track record, we know what his track record is in the postseason, but geez, I don't know what happened. In the first inning, man, he got pulled. He got scored on 6 times in the first inning. Dude, you know how disappointed fans that were actually there must have been? Because, bro, it's the first inning. Like, all you got to do is, I know it sounds easy, people that don't play baseball, but, like, it's 3 outs, and he didn't get his first out till, like, maybe the 4th run already in. So they were just hitting dingers off of him, just getting on base. They're playing small ball, and then, they hit a couple homers. But man, it was terrible. Got pulled in the first inning, and we were just bullpen all day. The end score for Saturday was 11-2. We didn't score till the 8th inning.
Before you go to the final score, it doesn't matter. He let 6 runs in. Okay, that's still manageable. But then our pitcher in the second inning let 3 runs in. Okay, now it's 9-0 in the 2 in 2 innings. How do you expect a team to come back from that? Granted, it was in the second inning, so you have all game to try to come back, right? We did not score until the 8th inning is when our second run came in.
Can I say
they already
something
had
too?
tacked on 2 more.
So I'm not gonna blame anybody. It's obviously it was a pitching mistake from Clayton Kershaw, and then the second pitcher being what's his name, Emmett Sheehan. So it was 9, a total of 9 points total there. But what I will say is James Outman, what happened in that first, what should have been out, which I know messed with Clayton Kershaw's mind, because that had to be, bro. Like, you could see it in his face how frustrated it was because of that out. What should have been, it hit the palm of his hand, and he couldn't glove it, and it was a double. So I was like, dude, that is a horrible way to start off a game.
I mean, I understand what you're saying with that. I agree with you that it should have been an out. Whatever, horrible way to start the game. Let's say you give up a double, you still go out there and you close that inning out. You don't allow all these runs to run in or for them to hit you around like that. In my opinion, right? Because in my opinion, I'm going to keep saying it because
Thank you.
Because the thing is, Clayton Kershaw, he's going to go down as one of the greatest Dodger pitchers, hands down.
In the regular
season.
One
of the left-handed pitchers, right, in regular season. But in the postseason, and like I was telling you before we started recording, Chris, he knows that he's got a target on his back every postseason. And every team that we face knows that exact thing. If it's Kershaw up there, he's either going to come out shining or he's going to be coming out completely giving these bombs, meatballs down the pipe, and it's going to be home run after home run or a cycle or whatever. Everybody's going to get a chance, right? So, yes, I understand that the frustration may lie with a dropped out or whatever, and you allowed a double. But you're a professional athlete in this sport, and you've done it for so long, right? You've taken the team to the playoffs, but every playoffs, there's something that goes down. Now, I'm not saying Kershaw needs to be retired or he needs to leave the Dodgers organization. No, because I think he's one of the pillars of that Dodger team, especially in the bullpen. He is a vet. But the thing is, you cannot allow one simple mistake to transition to 6 runs coming in with the first inning, right? And I understand that, like, the Kershaw lovers, and I love Kershaw too, but I understand that people are going to defend it like, well, it started because of this, or people are going to say, well, he's up there in age, so it makes sense. It does make sense, but we're at the point where we're trying to make it to the World Series again, because the one World Series we've had in the last 23-something years, not even 26 years, has been the COVID World Series, and a lot of fans don't think that one counts because it was a Mickey Mouse World Series, right?
Right. No, I got
Which is bullcrap because everybody has a fair opportunity for that.
It's the
World
same thing in
Series.
the NHL, NBA. The people that won it that year, it's kind of like an asterisk in a sense of like, well, because it was a bubble, because of blah blah blah.
Exactly, and Dodgers fans want the actual victory, right? They want the one that says we won the 162 games and we won the World Series that year, right? We haven't had that opportunity since '87, so. If you're a professional athlete, if you're the pillar of that organization, i.e. Kershaw, if you're the pillar of the bullpen, you have to lead by example by showing these guys, hey, no matter if you're under the lights, like, it's one game at a time. We have to win 3 to move on to the next one. Let's go out there and shine. And whether it's an error on Outman's side or whatever, you can't allow it to justify the rest of the score.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Then that's where I will come in again. You brought up score, so I will also say the Dodgers in general are batting 159 altogether. .159. I'm not talking about on runners left on scoring position, nothing
on
like
base,
that. I'm talking about their average. Right now they're batting 159. Mookie Betts, which was had an all-star of a season, hasn't had a single hit. He got on base because of a walk. It wasn't because he got a hit. Max Muncy has 1 hit. Freddie Freeman has 1 hit. JD Martinez, which was a weird pickup for me, 2 hits. And Will Smith, 2 hits. And after that, David Peralta, 1 hit. Everybody else, zipped. No one's had a single hit. We're batting 159 right now, dude. That a total of 10 hits. They did that in 1 game on us, and more. And that's a span of 2 games where we've only scored, probably 4 points, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 4 points total we've scored in this postseason. That's embarrassing for a Dodgers organization.
I get it 100%, and I get where you're coming from, and obviously all our Dodgers fans and everything like that. But I guess I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm not a Dodgers fan. I'm not an Arizona fan or anything like that. But at the same time, Arizona has the lead 2-0. So any credit given to Arizona to be able to do this? I know Kershaw came out and he shit the bed. I get it. Maybe that's a normal thing. But at the same time, game 2, different strategy, different pitchers. You change it up. Boom. Now Dodgers are down 2-0 series wise. So I mean, I guess all I'm saying is, and I don't even know Arizona at all. I didn't watch the series at all. But in the sense of you got to also give them credit too.
No, and I was about to,
because I agree with that. I 100% agree. I'm definitely not saying that we should have ransacked and ran through Arizona, because they are a great team. They're a good team this year. They've got hot at the right time. They have the momentum pushing them.
Right.
So they are a really good team, and they do deserve the credit for running a circle around us, because they've scored 15 runs to our 4 in 2 games in LA. So they are definitely a team
I didn't even
that
think
needs
about
to.
that.
They did that in LA. They didn't do it in Arizona. Now we're going to Arizona, and we're about to find out what's really about to happen.
And that's what I was going to bring up too, because Arizona right now has a total of 36 hits in 2 games. They're batting .265. They have 26 runs. Yeah, and in postseason in general with the Brewers as well. I'm not just talking about Dodgers.
Like 26
runs. I'm talking about with the Brewers too. So this is 36 hits, 36 hits all postseason. They did come from the wild card, and now they're in the divisional. So 36 hits, bro. They're batting .265. Everybody's doing some sort of job except Jose Herrera, which is their catcher, or one of their catchers, has 0 hits. But Corbin Carroll is killing it. 7 hits, 6 runs total. 1 stolen base, and he's being a dime in the field, in right field against the Dodgers. So right now, hats off to Corbin Carroll, because he's coming off of their number 1 spot in their batting order. So that dude's killing it.
Well, like Domo said though, it's hats off to Arizona. They came with a determination to advance to the championship series. They're obviously ready for it. They got hot at the right time. They went through the wild card, and like Chris said last week, sometimes the taking a break, waiting for the next team to come in may affect the team that's waiting and may push the momentum for the other guy.
I agree with that 100%.
And in this case, I feel like in this case, bro, it has shown it that the Dodgers need to play all games. They can't take that week by week. They need to slow it down towards the end of the season, lose some games, and then come in the wild card and play hot that way, because I think that momentum is pushing Arizona also, because they're just like, everybody thought that Arizona was not everybody, because there are a lot of people out there, a lot of different sports podcasts that say the same thing, that the Dodgers can't sit back and take Arizona lightly because they're ready to play. And you can't, because they've outscored us, they've outplayed us, they've outpitched us, obviously, and they've taken out Bobby Miller and they took out Clayton Kershaw. Crazy, because Bobby Miller is rookie, I get it, but he still has the capability of being a great pitcher. He has the potential of being a good pitcher in the future. Kershaw, obviously one of the greatest Dodgers on the mound, the left-handed pitchers, obviously, for the Dodgers organization, and they ran through him like it was nothing, and then they're running through our bullpen. And then last night, this game pissed me off too, because we left so many people on base, and this is what happens in the postseason. And I feel the Dodgers, and we'll move on to the next teams too, because we're not strictly talking Dodgers.
Well, I already got it pulled.
Yeah, we will.
I'm kidding.
But the Dodgers last night left. We were down 6. What was it? I forgot what the score was. It was like 4-0, 4-1 or something like that at the initial. And then the Dodgers had loaded up the bags with 1 out, and we had the opportunity to take the lead or tie the game at that point. I don't think we had scored yet when the bases were loaded, but either way, we had the potential of tying the game, bases loaded, 1 out, and you come out strikeout, you come out ground out, and it's just like, what is happening? And this happens every October for the Dodgers. They leave so many people on base. Kristen, I don't know if you ever found that statistic on what was the percentage that they leave on base.
No, it was like 159 or something like that.
As a Dodger fan, though, we know that it's a lot, and it happens often. So
yeah, it strictly happens in the postseason.
We need to get the bats hot is what needs to happen. The bats need to start going, and they can't be sitting back and thinking, oh, we'll play them again next week. No, it's do or die now.
Yeah,
you know? to go along with what I said about like give Arizona credit, yes. But I get where y'all are coming from as well, in a sense of like, it's not just Arizona. It's been, I mean, however long, y'all are big time Dodger fans. It's been however long, multiple years where this happens in October. So I guess what I'm saying is I get that part of it too, is it's not just Arizona performing, because other teams have done the same thing against the Dodgers years previous. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I get both sides of it. I get it.
But
so I mean, for now, it's like hats off to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
like Domo said, we have to give the respect where it's at, and if they do come out tomorrow and let's say they sweep the Dodgers, I mean, obviously we're hopeful that they don't, but if they do it, man, I mean they're definitely going to be a threat in that championship series.
It's a playoff
in my
game.
opinion.
You got to show up.
Yep.
And to go along real quick, sorry, Chris, to go along with what you're saying, Misa, like what you're saying is like you keep that momentum. You don't want the bye week. You don't want the first round bye and the playoffs and everything. That goes with any sport, NHL, NFL, MLB, everywhere. Like you get the first round bye, that's probably not a good thing because the boys tend to relax or they kind of go out or whatever. And then the team that gets hot, like you said, at the right time, got hot right at the end. They just carry that momentum all the way through. So it's a lot of the times, yes, you want to win. You want to go undefeated, but at the same time, towards the end, especially playoffs, it's probably not a good thing. Maybe lose a few games, get some rest, get the boys healed up, and then, you know what I mean, get hot. So, yeah, I agree.
Okay, well, let's keep going on the other games. Obviously, another yesterday game that was great was the Braves and the Phillies, man. What a finale with Bryce Harper not tagging first, and he was hauling ass home because they were losing by 1 already, and he just assumed that Nick Castellanos was hitting a homer or the outfield just wasn't going to catch it. I don't know what the mentality was, but he caught it, and they tagged him at first. It was a great ending, but hats off to the Braves on not giving up. They were down 4-0 for the majority of that game, and they still came back and scored. If I'm not mistaken, they didn't score till the 7th inning. They were down 4-0, and it was an
bottom
intense.
Of the 6th. They scored on the 6th.
I'm sorry. They scored one in the bottom of the 6th. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but either way, it was just a great game. Austin Riley, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Misa knows this. Something about him just I don't like. But the dude raked yesterday with a 2-run homer, and Darno also hit a 2-run homer. So it was just back to back, pretty much in different innings, and it was just an amazing game.
Yeah. And see, here's the thing. They're playing Atlanta, which, again, Atlanta is obviously a powerhouse team.
Yeah.
They took the first week by. Philly has to fight through everything, right, through the wild card and go into the divisional game against Atlanta, which was the number 1 team in the MLB at the end of the season. And Philly, when they came in, everybody was like, man, if anybody's going to knock out Atlanta, it's going to be Philadelphia because they have over 6 players with over 20-plus home runs this season, so they do have a potential of a powerhouse team. But the Braves also are
6
the
players
freaking
with
Braves.
over 20 home runs?
Yeah, for the year. And then you have, obviously, the Atlanta Braves with being such a powerhouse team.
Yeah, they got a lot of people on
that it was going to be
crazy.
A great series to watch, and it has been. I was honestly surprised, though, that I don't know. I'm not going to say surprised, but I was surprised that I guess that they won the first game. That Philly took the first game, and it looked like yesterday that they were going to take that second game too. And I was like, dude, they're about to sweep the Braves. The Braves did not take that lightly, and this also happened a few times with the Braves in the playoffs in general. They have amazing comebacks. Like you cannot count them out at all until the game is officially over. Then that's when they lose. But like if they're up, if you guys are up by 6, watch out for Atlanta because Atlanta can still push that back in the bottom of the 9th inning or whatever. They just get the momentum at the right time. But the series is tied 1-1 right now.
Yeah,
so
it's good, man. It's good.
So that's a good series for sure.
Talking about the Phillies, did y'all see? I saw it earlier today. I don't know which game it was, but obviously the Philly fans are going crazy. Did y'all see where there was 2 fans that climbed on top of the stadium, like outside on top of the roof, and they were watching the game from the top of the edge of the. Y'all didn't see that?
No, I didn't.
Look it up.
Chris,
Look
can
it
you
up.
try to pull that up?
There's 2 people standing like above everybody. Like, yeah. Or maybe I got fooled. I don't know. I do. Did y'all see? I'm sure you did, but the one batter, I don't know his name. I don't watch Philly baseball, but they were singing his chant, and the bases were loaded on the first pitch. Boom, grand slam.
Yeah,
that was amazing. The crowd losing their shit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that Philly fans in general for any sport are crazy, and they're very passionate. And I think that the Philadelphia Phillies, especially being so close last year, they obviously were hoping to be right back in it. But they obviously started the season real slow and sloppy. It looked like they weren't going to make it to the playoffs. They snuck in. They made it to the wild card. They made it to the divisional game, and now they're putting the pressure on the Braves because now the series is tied 1-1. And it's just gonna be a hectic battle towards the end, in my opinion. I think that one's gonna go all 5 games. I don't think it's gonna be a sweep, and obviously it's not gonna be a sweep now, but I don't think that it's gonna be ran through. I think it's gonna go. They're gonna play all 5. The other series, though, we'll get to the. I think we should close out with the Astro series. So the one right before the Astro series, though, is the Rangers and the Orioles. The Orioles, being the number 1 seed in that AL division.
They might be kicked now.
Yeah, and it looks like they're about to get kicked because they're down 7-1 right now, currently.
Yep.
So it looks like the Texas Rangers are about to close this series out, and if they do, they would sweep the number 1 team in the AL, a young team with the Baltimore Orioles that we also all year last year and all year this year, we always said that, who are the Baltimore Orioles? We would use them as a joke of our podcast, but they obviously showed up this year.
They shut me up this year.
Yeah, they've played a great baseball, but I mean it just sucks because you're under the pressure of the playoffs now, and then now you're down 7-1 in the top of the 7th. If I'm not mistaken, it's the bottom of the 7th right now, 7-1. It looks like they're about to get swept unless Baltimore steps it up in the last 2 innings.
It's possible, man. It's baseball.
It is possible because with baseball anything is possible. But I like that Texas Rangers team. I love everybody that's on that team itself, with obviously everybody hitting. Yeah, but I really like Adolis Garcia. Like he's a good ball player. They've been managed well all year, and they were in that teeter-totter stage with the Houston Astros most of the year. But we said it before the divisional series started, when they were in the wild card, what the hell happened to the Rangers, because they were in the lead for so long in the AL, and they let Houston kind of sneak back in, and then Houston obviously took the first week by, but the Rangers are showing up now.
Business.
Yeah, they're handling business right now. They're up 2-0 in the series, so if they win tonight, which looks like they most likely will, they'll be waiting on the games between the Houston Astros and the Minnesota Twins, which, speaking on the Houston Astros and the Minnesota Twins, the Houston Astros won 9-1 today, so they do lead that series 2-1. But it did look a little sketchy at first. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I know they won Saturday with the initial game, and they did win that one 6-4. But I was really surprised that the Twins got the win.
Yeah, and that one, sorry to interrupt, that one, I texted the group chat that Verlander, it was 5-0 Verlander. They brought in the bullpen, and Chris, you said you called it earlier in the year that the bullpen's been struggling. It was 5-0. First pitcher from the bullpen loaded up the bases. Boom! I think it was 3 runs, something like that. Next pitch, boom! It was 5-4. Luckily, for the Astros, they won. But they pulled them 5-0, and just like that, 5-4 immediately.
Yeah. Chris, with you, what are your thoughts with obviously you guys being in Houston right now currently though? What does it feel like? Like, are people panicking over there? Are people like worried that they might get bounced by the
Set
Twins.
the town
I mean,
on fire. Burn it
So-
down. It's over.
So for instance, the president of the company I work for, we
Mhm.
talk baseball all the time, and lo and behold, this week with the Dodgers being down 2-0, he's like, "Well, how about them Dodgers?" And I'm like, "Damn, I got no comeback."
Yeah.
shut up, ho.
But whenever
Then
they
you lose your job, and
yeah,
you can't say
when the
shut up, though.
when the Astros lost on Sunday, 6-2, he's I don't like knocking on Astros fans, but a lot of Astros fans give up real easily on their team. Just the old faithful fans will be the ones that always have the faith that they're going to come back, and they usually do.
Mhm.
But I know a lot of fans, when you lose one game, that's it. That's it. And the bullpen was struggling throughout the year, but 6-2 on Sunday, and then today at Minnesota to win 9-1, that's intense, man.
Yeah.
They were up 4-0 in the first inning, so it wasn't it was going to be like the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks again. But Christian Javier came out, struck out the first inning side, so he had a great outing. Nine strikeouts. He did walk 5, and they got a hit off of him, but that was it. Hunter Brown came in again, and he came in and it was a solid outing as well. They did score on him, but it wasn't the worst. And then it was 9-1 at the end of the day, so they did just score on him. But the
Yeah.
bullpen held their own. I mean, when
So-
you come into a game, sorry, Mike, when you come into a game and you're winning 9 or even 4, the defensive side's a little bit more comfortable when they come out. Because if you think about it, they're like, well, we got a good solid lead. We just got to hold it. And the Astros, whenever they're up a lot, except for what happened Saturday, they get comfortable, and most teams can't score. Framber Valdez on Sunday, which is one of the aces, he got manhandled with the 6-2 win. And like Domo was saying, Justin Verlander he's a vet. You can never count out Justin. But today, Christian Javier came out there and he killed it, absolutely killed it, and good win too.
Mhm. The thing is, and I'm sure y'all know and other fans know, but just like in NFL, it goes from the center to the quarterback. The quarterback's always got the ball, so it kind of goes off of him. So you could have a badass pitcher or a badass bullpen, but depending on each throw, all the other players, all they can do is react. You know what I mean? So if it's a 5-0 lead and your pitcher's not pitching well, you just got to do it one throw at a time and try to make a play depending on what happens. If the balls come off, this way, that way, whatever, right? So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I see. With the thing is with the Astros team, the Astros bullpen, Astros hitting. When it comes to playoffs, even if you get a couple hits off the starter, something switches. I think in the brain, for these starters or for the bullpen or for the hitters, and they're just like, we're the Houston fucking Astros, and here and you know what I mean, 2-time champs. And here is a shutout for the rest of the game, or here's back-to-back home runs. Here's Jordan hitting a 750-foot home run.
750.
I don't know, but you know what I mean. Like with the Houston team itself, I know even as a Dodger fan, I know a lot of people have a lot of hate towards them, and I did too. But obviously they won
season's over
a
with,
World
bro.
Series clean. You know what I mean? So we have to get over that as people. Move on. And
As Dodger fans, you got to get over it.
as Dodger fans, just move on already.
Actually,
It happened, it
I will
happened.
say, it's not just Dodger fans that hate the Astros
No,
because
it's
of that.
all of
I
MLB.
know.
Yeah.
It's everybody. I know.
It's
I'm just
it's
making
all
sure.
of them.
But yeah, we all got to forget it. They won one fair and square.
They won one fair and square, and they played the 162 games, and they won it, and that's it. It's plain and simple. Signed, sealed, delivered. Get out of here. But here's the thing, though, and a lot of people forget that the Houston Astros are a well-built team, well-built with from within the organization. They're not shopping players. You know what I mean? They're not buying out there the top talent. They build them themselves. You know what I mean? That
through the draft,
farming
through the
has
system.
worked.
Yep.
Yeah, through the farming system or through trades, because Jordan was in the Dodgers farming system, came into Houston on a trade, and look at him now, right? But you build that team, and so the team, even though it may be younger than a lot of other vet teams out there or a lot of high paid teams, they still have just as much passion, and they are ready for another back-to-back World Series.
Yeah.
And a lot of people seem to forget that you cannot take Houston lightly in the playoffs, even if they are down 5 runs. This team will show up when it matters most. And as in the 2017 World Series, right? Game 5, everybody remembers that it was back and forth and back
Amazing.
and forth and
Best
back
game
and
ever.
forth, extra innings. We were
Yeah.
up 2, bam. They were up 2, bam. They were up. Like, it was just back and forth. So you have to always remember that the Houston team itself and its Dusty Baker managing skills are there, and it's that plain and simple.
Did y'all see?
So
Did y'all
them
see
being
earlier? I'm sorry. Did y'all see earlier
No.
Dusty Baker? I forget what play it was. I got off of work. I was watching a little bit of the game. I can't remember. It was. I think it was a base hit, but Dusty Baker was like, he was on the edge, just like he was like going crazy, and not to say he's an old man, but he's an older man, and he was still just like off of one run, just like he was going nuts. Like, it was awesome to see. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you have to have the encouragement from your manager too. You know what I mean, to be that great of a team that the Houston organization is, and they're defending champs. So this is they have to make it to the World Series, right, to defend the title in a sense. But like, I think that series is surprisingly entertaining to watch. Obviously, today's score 9-1 doesn't show that, but with obviously Carlos Correa coming back to Houston and playing against his old team and all that. And him saying like, oh, I don't want to play those cheaters, like, you know, him like again bringing back up the 2017 World Series. To me, it's just now it's fun in games because it's so long ago already, right? And the Astros have obviously won a World Series after that, but the Twins and the Astros is the surprise series for me because I enjoyed watching that. The other series, I kind of like. I thought that the Orioles were going to kind of run through the Rangers. I thought that the Braves were going to run through the Phillies, and I thought the Dodgers were going to run through the Diamondbacks. All that is kind of lost in the sauce. You know what I mean? Like, it's just completely gone now because my predictions are in the pooper, as people would say.
real quick before we move on to anything else, Chris, did you come up with the Philly fans on the roof? I just googled Philly fans on roof, and everything popped up. Images. Philly fans on roof, or on the roof. I got a bunch of. I don't know how to. Send it to
you're right. I looked it up, but it didn't come up. I mean, maybe y'all could.
Two of these lunatics, Philly lunatics, just somehow climbed up the outside of the stadium, and they were on top. Like, you can't get any higher seats than that. These are above the nosebleeds. Above the nosebleeds.
That's insane.
Welcome to Philadelphia.
Dude, they're behind home plate, bro. That's crazy.
They're screaming and nobody can hear them. You know what I mean? Like,
how did you even get
That
up
is
there?
insane, dude.
It has to be from the outside somehow. They went out to have a cigarette and then
They were like, "Hey, I think that's a ladder."
they went.
Yeah, they were like, "What does this do?" But yeah, so it sucks to be a Dodger fan in October. Like we said last week, anxiety is always high in this household and in Chris's household. And Carlos, this is probably why he's not here tonight. Anxiety is high in October for Dodger fans, and we all know. And we love our boys in blue, but damn, man, it's tough to see them kind of struggle this hard. But other teams are looking good out there. Philly and Braves, watch that series. Houston trying to close it out this week. Looks like the Rangers are going to close it out 7-1, one guy on base, top of the eighth. For the Baltimore Orioles, looks like they'll take the sweep there. And then you have obviously your final one with the, which one did I miss? I missed one. I know I did.
I will say that with the Dodgers, I was not expecting that at all. And maybe y'all were with Dodger baseball and not in the playoffs October, but I mean, that first game especially, I couldn't believe it, honestly. I'm not a big baseball fan, but I was just like, oh shit. Like,
I wasn't expecting us to sweep them, like to sweep the Diamondbacks, because you can't. Yeah. It's really hard to sweep any team in the playoffs, right? But I wasn't expecting a sweep, but I was expecting, even if we lost,
competitive
we
baseball.
At least, come on, dude.
No, I get it.
We're playing T-ball here.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I was like,
you know, it is baseball. It's not over. With baseball, you know, you play the game until the last out, until the last pitch is thrown. The boys play tomorrow, so they will play tomorrow night against the Diamondbacks in Arizona now. The Houston Astros also play tomorrow. Tomorrow being Wednesday, guys. My bad. Everybody we're not doing a live. Yeah, so everybody plays on Wednesday.
What time is tomorrow's game? Astros game?
The Astros game is at 1:07.
Yeah.
That's such a weird time. But 1:07 is
today
the
was
start
3:07.
Yeah.
Just make it 3 o'clock or 3:30 for fuck's sakes.
You guys will be listening to this on Friday, so the games Wednesday will be wrapped up by then, but the games will start tomorrow. We're gonna do predictions since the series is already wrapped up most of the way. We're gonna just do predictions for the 3 games that are gonna be played tomorrow because it doesn't look like the Orioles will win tonight and they'll just bounce. So we're gonna do predictions. I'm gonna go with Dodgers over the Diamondbacks. I'm gonna say with a score of 6-4 against the Diamondbacks. And Houston against Minnesota, I'm going to go with Minnesota tying the series there. I'm just going to give it a score of 6-3 because they're going to go into Minnesota now. Not that it's going to make a difference for Houston because I think Houston
today.
They were in Minnesota today.
Yeah. So not that it makes a difference for Houston, but I'm going to say that Minnesota's going to take it.
Gotcha.
They're going to push it to Game 5. And then for the Braves and Phillies, I actually think that I think the Braves – no, I think the Phillies take that one. The Phillies take it tomorrow. They'll lead the series 2-1. They are in Philadelphia again. So,
and do you think those 2 fans are still up there on the roof and they just can't get down?
yeah, they're just waiting for the game to start.
Fucking pendejos fucking climb up there, can't even get down.
So go ahead, Chris and Domo with your picks. So I got Philly, LA, and
You can
Minnesota.
go, Domo. I'll end it.
Okay. I'm probably going to shit the bed on these picks, but I will say I texted you, Misa, on the side text that I went 3-1 on the wild card picks. I sent you that meme that's going around. I forget what his name is, the mall cop guy.
Oh yeah, with the guy from Kevin James.
All the undefeated teams, and I forget who didn't make it because they were all sweeps except for one. And the wild card. I'll go fuck myself. So I had them all right except one because it was all like a sweep in a sense. Like I can't remember the other team. Anyways.
I'm trying.
I went 3-1. I sent him the mall cop fucking meme, but I'm gonna take. What do we got here?
Kevin James.
Kevin James. There you go. Yeah. The mall cop. Thank you. Sorry.
Paul Blart.
So Dodgers, Diamondbacks. That's in Arizona, correct or no?
Yeah.
They go to Arizona tomorrow. Come on, boys. We can do this.
I'm gonna take Dodgers. It's a 5-game series, right? This round, it's a 5-game series.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take Dodgers. Houston's at Minnesota. I'm going to take Houston again.
So Houston closes the series out to Wednesday, right? Is what you're saying?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And I'm taking the Phillies to close it out.
Okay. All right, I'll start
and
from
the fans are going to starve to death. I'm on top. I'm gonna add that on there too. They're not gonna.
I'm gonna start from the early game, so I'll go top to bottom. I'm gonna go Twins for the score being 8-3. Braves and Phillies. I'm gonna go Phillies, and it's gonna be 2-0. And of course, I'm gonna go. I bleed blue every day, so it's gonna be Dodgers versus Diamondbacks. I'm gonna go Dodgers. It's gonna be 6-2.
If you bleed blue, you have to go get yourself checked out, bro. Our blood should not be a color.
It's
blue. You
blue.
better get too many monsters.
It is blue until you're opened up.
It's blue.
I'm blue. If I was green, I would die. If I was green.
I have like a little tiny mosquito in my office, and I don't know where it is. It keeps like flying in front of the camera.
All right, so that's our MLB topic or talk for today. We're hoping that the Dodgers move forward, but let's get into some NFL sound guy. Alrighty, the NFL week 5 has wrapped up. Let's go into our picks from last week because we do have some sweeps that happened. Some boys went undefeated
here, and we got a loser sitting.
So Domo and Chris both went undefeated last week. So Chris had the Jags, the Saints, and the Dolphins.
Let's go.
Domo had the Niners, the Chiefs, and the Dolphins. I feel like you guys cheated with that. And then I had the 49ers. Yeah, I had the 49ers, the Bills, and the Bengals. So I went 2-1. So I lost last week. Chris and Domo went undefeated. Yeah. But speaking of week 5 being wrapped up, right? It started off kind of weird with your Chicago Bears getting their first win against the Washington Commanders.
He looked good. Man, 4 touchdowns? 4 touchdowns, I think.
Yeah. Justin Fields? You're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think I heard you said
Who else threw touchdowns for the Bears?
well, yeah, well, because what's it? DJ Moore, he went off and he had 3 TDs. So I thought you were talking about, oh, he looked good. Like, yeah, DJ Moore did go off.
Yeah, but he had 3.
Yes, I
I'm
agree.
talking about Fields
Yeah.
had 4.
Yeah, so yeah, Justin Fields looked like a pro QB finally,
Exactly,
with
exactly.
four
Yes.
touchdowns. QB rating 125,
About damn
through
time.
282, no
Exactly,
interceptions,
yeah.
but
He looked like he should have. That's why they drafted him. That right there.
Yeah,
It just took
that's-
him like a year and a half later to achieve it. You know?
yeah. So the Bears got their first victory of the year, and everybody in Chicago, like people that I follow that are like Chicago Bear fans, and I'm just like,
Who the hell's a
Damn,
Chicago Bear fan? Besides people that live in Chicago.
Seth Rollins.
The people that Misa follows.
Yeah, Seth Rollins is a big Chicago Bear fan.
Never heard of him.
So yeah, the Bears, they got their first victory, obviously 40-20, kind of ran through the Washington Commanders. That was the first game of the week, being Thursday. Then you had your international series starting Sunday with the Jags over the Bills.
The Bills.
What are y'all's thoughts on that game right there? Because
Real quick,
it's the Bills, guys.
The way the NFL is doing it, if I understand it correctly, is that the team that goes there, they're there for 2 weeks. The team that follows, they're there for 2 weeks. So the Jags were there first, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, the Jags were there first. They did back-to-back weeks in London.
And so, right, okay, so the Bills are there. They lost that game, but the Bills will be there for the next game. Or am I
No.
wrong? No?
No,
I thought it
no,
was
no,
2 and
they
2.
won't.
Okay, all right. Well,
No. So it's just the Jags were there 2 weeks in a row.
that doesn't make any sense
and-
then. They had the advantage.
Yeah, so
Like so.
Buffalo, yeah, exactly. Buffalo had to adjust to everything going over.
Okay.
But Buffalo is traveling back to the States now. They don't stay in London again. So yeah, it's just
All right,
they play the
there
Giants.
goes everything I had to say. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is like with the Jags beating the Bills, because everybody thought that the Bills were gonna. I mean, I thought that the Bills were gonna run through and,
No
and
doubt.
beat the Jacksonville Jags. But
Damn it.
we did say
I missed.
No doubt.
we did say it before last week though. Like I mean, before this week, we said that the jet lag, it may do something to the Buffalo Bills. Not saying that that's a reason why they lost, but I mean, it does take into account, right? You
Well,
got to take that into account as a fan.
Playing in London,
as
that's
your
gonna
team.
be an account. Yeah, it does. You have
Yeah.
to factor that.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You got to factor all of that in.
And
because
Jags
it
were there
can
for 2
affect
weeks,
them.
so they're already adjusted, or at least
They're-
more
yep,
adjusted.
I guess more not relaxed, but more with the time change and all that. Their bodies are
Yeah.
already used to it, you know. So
Yeah.
they are more adjusted to it. But I mean, they beat the Bills 25-20. Buffalo's mayor or governor or some shit, he actually opened up the bars early for the boys in Buffalo to
earlier
start
than
drinking
normal?
early.
Earlier than
Yeah,
normal,
like
Buffalo
at-
they'd start drinking early and they stay drinking late.
Yeah, so,
So-
he said that restaurants and bars were allowed to serve alcohol as early as 8:30 p.m. or 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning
shit.
because it was Sunday because they were in Buffalo. So I mean
Yeah,
they were in
I've
London.
drank
So.
earlier than that. Sorry.
Yeah. But so that was the first game of Sunday morning. If you guys watched that, and I'm not sure if you did, but I mean it's crazy to see that Buffalo lost to the Jags.
I agree.
Another couple games though that were good during the week. Obviously, everybody's excited about our Sunday night football talk, but we'll get that in a little bit.
No.
But a couple games that I really enjoyed watching though was that Texans and Falcons
I was
game,
about to
because
say
that thing came down to the wire. Dude.
Legit.
I was like.
Yep.
I was rooting for CJ Stroud too. I was like, "Come on, man, you can do this, bro. You can pull it out, please."
You're a
Well,
Texans
what else?
fan though by heart, so
Yeah, by heart, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
And no shame in that. I don't care what people say. No shame
What do
in
you-
being a
do you
Texans
want him
fan
to pull
too.
out?
I mean,
nothing. He
yeah.
doesn't want anything to pull out.
Pull up the victory. That's it.
All right, now it's getting,
That's it. Just
it's
pull
getting
up
too
the
much.
Still a solid game though. Threw for 249, 20 for 35, no picks, 1 TD.
Yeah,
Not the worst game.
Yeah.
sounds good.
No, not at all. I mean that's
But
a.
it was
That was a good game.
It's just-
That was a really good game.
It was a good game to watch. It's such a weird score, 21-19,
it was
right? But
all 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters were all field goals, and then they finally
Yep.
scored in the fourth. So they just didn't pull the trigger.
I will say, for the longest time, there were sections there where Texans football was not that, but for Texans football, for the most part, has been field goal football. They've always had really good field goal kickers and lacked quarterbacks or certain playmakers. They've always had a good defense. But Texans football, for the most part, has been field goal football. So Sunday, a bunch of field goals, that didn't surprise me at all. Like, I was watching it like 3, 6, 9, 12. I'm like, okay, field goal, field goal, field goal. Touchdown here, whatever. Like, that's Texans football.
But
for the longest time.
For the longest time for it to be that way, and then you play a Falcons team who's also kind of in a weird, except for they obviously do have star talent there.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, exactly. So without a found, I guess, playmaker in the Houston organization, it's cool to have them be, well, for example, for the record right now currently, but also for a star player in CJ Stroud pushing that team forward.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's cool. It's cool to finally see that for the Houston Texans, in my opinion, with seeing him against now top talent in the NFL and seeing how well he's adjusted to it. You're still not all there, obviously, because you're still very young in the league and very young in the offensive playbook and all that. So still a lot of adjustments to do. But to see them be potential, like in close games like this, rather than getting ran through, you know what I mean? Like last year, like it's just it's good. It's a good watch. Chris, do you have any more thoughts on the Texans game or no?
No. You guys stole everything from me.
I do want to talk about the NFC North champs, I guess, currently, the Detroit Lions against the Panthers, 42-24. Panthers still haven't got their first victory. Detroit being 4-1. What happened in Detroit out of nowhere?
Well,
I
will say, you want me to start off? Can I start off?
Yeah, it's your division.
So with Detroit, they've been playing good football the last year, 2 years. I'd say the last year and then up until this point, like game 5 where we're at right now, Detroit's looking real good. They're looking really, really, really good. And not just in the NFC North where they're first place, they're dominating and everything like that. If I remember correctly, before the season started, I did talk a lot of shit about the Detroit Lions, along with the Bears and the Vikings. Of
course, you're a Packer fan. You're supposed to,
but at the same time, I did say that Green Bay. I didn't pick Green Bay to make the playoffs either. So
correct.
Yeah,
I wasn't just shitting on them and then saying Green Bay's the best.
Yeah.
I will say that I'm gonna eat my words. The Lions are gonna make the playoffs and they're gonna go far. I think they're gonna make it. I say go far. They're gonna make it.
Wow, Chris, do you have the train horn or something?
Detroit's looking real good. Detroit's looking really good. Green Bay, they're struggling. We can get to that. We can get to Green Bay in a little bit. Obviously, the Vikings and the Chicago Bears. There's a lot of football left, but they're not looking good. And Green Bay's kind of on the. We can get to them in a minute. But
I think
Detroit,
to bounce off of what you're saying is like the way I had initially thought was that Green Bay was gonna. I don't know if I said Detroit was gonna win that division. No, I think I said Minnesota would take the division, and it would be Green Bay second. I think I put Green Bay being second safely, and obviously, like you said, we'll get to Green Bay in a little bit. But a surprise twist being with the Detroit Lions, and just to bounce off, like you said right now, there's still a lot of football left. The Detroit Lions can go and lose every game moving forward. We don't know, and then the records completely switch. You know what I mean? But currently, they are playing great football. Yeah, exactly. They're playing great
really
football
good team.
right now.
They're a really good team. You look at the stats on both sides of the football. The defense, the offense. They're moving the football. They're stopping the offense. I'm gonna eat my words. I misspoke on the Lions. As up to this point, they're definitely. I feel like they're going to win the North unless something changes. They're going to win the North, and I feel like they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs. I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl, but they're definitely
They're playoff contenders now, right?
I'm saying definitely playoffs. Definitely playoffs. I'm hesitant to say Super Bowl contenders, but I was also talking shit 5 weeks ago. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think it's cool to see finally Detroit do something. And it also has a lot to do. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is the face of the NFC North or whatever. I'm just saying that removing him obviously has given a lot more opportunity for all these other teams to
And
come
real
out
quick,
and shine out.
look
You
what
know?
happened when Tom Brady left his division.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So there you go. You know what I mean? Look what happened when
believe me
Russell
now?
Wilson left Seattle. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so, same thing.
I don't think the Russell Wilson is in the same category as Aaron Rodgers.
No. I'm not saying Russell Wilson is. I'm just saying Russell Wilson with Seattle and Pete Carroll, when he left, Seattle hasn't done shit. They are on the upswing, I think, but at the same time, they fell off. Green Bay immediately fell off. Tom Brady left. The Patriots are good for like a year, I think. After that, they fell off. But it goes to the same thing. You get your coach and your quarterback, and which one was the one that was making it work? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so cool for Detroit Lions. Finally, the city of Detroit is rooting for something good because they have the Tigers. They had the Red Wings back in the day. They had who else do they have in Detroit? That's the Pistons.
And real quick,
not a lot of great stuff.
Don't sleep on the Red Wings. Steve Eiserman. Don't.
Yeah,
sleep
well,
on the
I
Red
mean,
Wings.
but what I'm saying currently wise, you know what I mean?
I'm
Like,
just plugging the Red Wings.
they don't have a lot to be cheering for. So for their team to be 4-1, and Eminem is at the stadium now, so he, that was huge for them.
Who's he dating? The linebacker?
I'll tell you, not him, based off of his previous albums. So, so Detroit's 4-1. Panthers still looking for their first win. They're 0-5 in that division. The Bengals beat the Cardinals, which I think everybody kind of knew that was going to happen. But not saying that they're back, though. I'm not going to say that they're back because you beat the Cardinals. The Cardinals have one victory this year.
Hey, sometimes you need just that one win to just give you that jump start. So that could be it.
Game changer, season changer.
But so I want to ask you guys, right, before we get into like the Sunday night game and the Jets winning. Okay, so the Jets beat the Broncos. Whoop-de-doo. The Eagles. 23-14, they beat the Rams in LA, right, in Levi South. The Eagles are still undefeated, still a great team. But why are their – I shouldn't say this. This is going to bite me. Why are their games so close? They're not running away with victories here, right? Like
the Eagles?
The Eagles, like all their games lately have been really close. Like 20, like let's say from the start of the season, 25-20, 34-28, 25-11, 34-31, 23-14 was the last one. And I'm not saying that they should be running through everybody with them being undefeated. Not at all, because football is football, right? It can be close one day and it can be crazy one day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that this is where the fraudulent word initially started for me. And I'm not saying it. I'm not calling them that. I'm just saying.
You already used
I'm just saying though, like what I know, and it works because Minnesota is still Minnesota. But what I'm saying is, like, from your perspective, from what you guys look at when you're watching a football game, if a team is undefeated, should they be breaking through these scores?
Chris,
go for it.
I haven't opinionated at all in the NFL, so go for it.
I really want you guys to give me the input, because I want to make sure that I'm not seeing this like a crazy person. Like, should they be outscoring them by more? You know what I mean?
Chris, let me just get like 10 seconds here.
Go for it,
and
bro.
You can have the rest. Okay.
I did baseball. We're good.
Actually, yeah, you're right. So let me have this. So I think I texted y'all. We were talking college football over the weekend. The biggest difference between college football and the NFL, besides talent, right? So you have there's a shitload of college players that go to the NFL. They end up as nothings, or they're like big time players. If you look at the game itself, in the NFL, your record is, you are what your record says you are. So you lose a game, you lose a game. You win a game, you win a game. You tie a game, you tie a game. In college, you could win a game but lose a game, and you go up and down in the standings. So what I'm going to say to that is, yes, Philly, should they be running through these teams? Maybe they should, maybe they shouldn't. They're winning games. That's all that matters. In the NFL, as long as you win, you're a good team. If you beat a team by 1 or 20 or 30, a win's a win. That's it. Yeah. That's all you're trying to do.
True.
Because in college football, it's completely different. And I know I'm bringing in college football, but it is two different stages. Whether you beat a team out by 30 or 40 or you win by 1 point, as long as you win, you fucking win, and that's where you are in the standings. A win's a win.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So should
that's
they be
true.
blowing teams out? Maybe. But as long as they win the game, who gives a shit? For the Eagles.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
For the Eagles, they don't give a fuck as long as they won. You know what I mean? 1 point or 20 points. It don't matter.
I guess it's just. I guess I was looking at it from okay. Obviously, they're a great team. Jalen Hurts, great QB in my opinion, and especially for the Eagles organization, great to have great players back there. But I was like, man, are their games getting too close? Because if y'all remember 2 weeks ago, they played against the Commanders, and that thing went to overtime against the Washington Commanders. So but we also mentioned that a divisional game they play a lot harder
in the
on
NFC
each other,
East,
you know what I mean?
especially.
Yeah,
the NFC East, they're all good. It could be the shittiest team versus the best Eagle team you've ever seen. It's going to be a close game.
And they play close.
It's going to be a close game.
So I understand what you're saying because it's true. Like the way you put it makes perfect sense because it's different talents levels and stuff like that, and your record or you are what your record shows. So I get it. I was like, man, are these games getting too close? Like, are they eventually going to take a loss like here soon? I mean, I know that they do end up playing the 49ers in December, but that's like way down the road. But I mean, they do have like the Chiefs before that. They play the Cowboys before that, and then they're playing the Dolphins in 2 weeks. So I don't know. I just kind of wanted y'all's opinion on what you guys thought. Like, are these games too close for them to be such a good team, you know, or should they be running away with every score? But we say the same thing about the Chiefs, though, right? Like we said, man, the Chiefs they're not scoring like they've been scoring the last 2 years. They're not scoring 50+ points, 47+ points. They're very small scoring games, but they're still winning.
But they win.
So winning is
they
winning.
win.
Yeah. The victories are what matters, right? Chris, what was your input, bro?
The 49ers and the Cowboys. Just kidding.
I was about to be like, hold on, dude. You got to have something here.
No, I agree with what Domo said. As long as you win the game at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, the Eagles are great at goal line stuff. They're not Jalen Hurts did win that game with his arm, 303 yards. So he had a great overall performance. He did have one pick though. But as long as they can come through and win, I don't think anybody's complaining as a Philly fan. I think as long as they win at the end of the day, because it could be worse.
Philly fans complain. They don't give a fuck. Philly fans complain.
But yeah, so
dude,
can I finish? Can I finish talking, bro?
All right. My bad.
No, I'm just kidding. But as long as they win at the end of the day, I think that's all that matters. Because it could be worse. You could be like the Bears and stuff, and then lose by a couple points every game. But as long as you win and you make it to the playoffs, good. You're good. They did the same thing last season. They weren't blowing everybody out, but they were a solid ass team. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but they made it. So that's what I think about that.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I wanted to see what you guys were thinking on it. Because I thought about it. I was like, man, why are these scores so close? But yeah, it's true. It doesn't matter if you win by an extra point or, you know, by 3 points or whatever, by a safety. Like, as long as you win and you're undefeated. So I think we should get into our 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. because everybody saw what happened Sunday Night Football. Micah Parsons is very upset at the 49ers because they ran through them and exposed them for what they are. But I'm not going to say that the Cowboys are a bad team because they still have the opportunity to be a good team. But I'm
going to disagree with you.
You know what?
I think when you're...
Can I show a meme that I saw today? It was like,
look, absolutely.
The Cowboys are the best organization ever. They specifically didn't want to play the 49ers the way that everybody thought they were going to play because they know they're going to meet each other in the playoffs. So why give them all the footage in the world? Surprise them. Hold it off for now and surprise them in the playoffs.
But how come the quarterbacks how come the Cowboys lost like that when Trey Lance went from the 49ers to the Cowboys with the playbook and they still got the shit kicked out of them?
Exactly.
It's all part of the game.
People were speculating, bro. people were speculating like, oh, Trey Lance may feed them info on the 49ers.
I
and it's
guarantee
like,
you.
first of all,
I would think anybody would.
Trey Lance
third string.
lost his job last year, bro. Like immediately when Brock Big Cock Purdy shined out there, you know
Dirty
what I mean?
cock Purdy,
Yeah, so like immediately he lost his job. So Trey Lance didn't even know the playbook. They probably weren't even giving him the real playbook when it was his opportunity.
It was kind of like in the Marvel movies. They give you a fake script till you're actually acting.
Yeah, because of Tom Holland. But so
and the next thing you know, you're standing there with a heart on, going, "Wait, what? What's happening?"
look. So the final score, everybody knows it was 42-10. Dak Prescott threw 3 interceptions. One of those interceptions was. You can say that, okay, it was a tip ball, whatever, shouldn't have counted, whatever, but it did count. 3 interceptions. You know what's funny, though, is that the Sunday Night Football's Twitter page, or X page, whatever the hell that thing is called now, Dak is on a mission this year. He has 1 interception, and I think they compared him to 3 other QBs.
Jeez.
Oh, the 3 other QBs in the NFC and in the NFC East, and it was like they have a total of 14. And then, obviously, Sunday he threw 3 interceptions to the 49ers defense. And the comment section on that post was like, well, this didn't age well. What is he trying to catch up with, 1 game or what?
Yeah.
Because he only had the 1 going into it.
Yeah.
But we've always said it, when Dak plays against a defense that can read him, it's a wrap, dude. There was plays that I saw broken down later down the road where I'm like, first you had an out slant, like out, you had a straight out dig to the 10-yard line, first down, and his eyes were locked to the left because CeeDee Lamb was over there.
Mm-hmm.
But CeeDee Lamb was in double coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And I'm not a QB by any means. I'm not a pro QB. I don't know what. Obviously, you're playing the number 1 defense in the league, so pressure is on, right? But come on, man. Like, you got to make smarter decisions. You have to. And for Cowboys fans, dude, Stephen A. went off on you guys, so I don't have to. But
yeah,
Stephen A. enjoyed the hell out of that. I don't know, like 42-10, crazy.
You know what's crazier?
For the 49ers.
That Mr. Irrelevant, Mr. Brock Purdy, you went 17 for 24, 252 yards, 4 touchdowns. George Kittle caught 3 of them hoes with an awesome.
3.
Did you see the shirt that he was wearing under
his shirt? Oh, I can't wait to see what that fine is going to be, dude. They have to fine him.
What did the shirt say? I saw it, but I just want to hear somebody say it.
I'm not saying it.
It said, I'm not saying it because I live here. But you guys know what it said.
But either way, it was a hilarious
moment. He loves the Cowboys. He loves them.
Yeah, dude, they interviewed him. Well, and Pat McAfee interviewed him afterwards, and was like, or not after the game, but the next day or whatever, because it was George Kittle's birthday, and he was like, I don't know, man. He's like, it was just a training shirt I had under there. He's like, I didn't realize that's what it said until I lifted my shirt and I realized what I was reading.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, whatever, dude.
Messed it all up.
Yeah, but obviously he was balling now, and then a lot of people were like, man, I sat him on the bench on their fantasy league because he has been having a kind of slow start to the season. He hadn't really done a lot for us, but one game. But that's the thing, though. Like we always say, like when you play a rival team or you play a competitive team, you show up when it matters most, and it definitely did with George Kittle. And Brock Purdy's obviously had a baller of a game. Christian McCaffrey was actually kind of slowed down. He had 1 TD, but he didn't break the 100-yard margin. He had 51 rushing yards on Sunday night. So I know everybody, they said that there was like 26-point-something million views for that game or whatever. It was like their highest-rated game in a long time. Mm-hmm. Rushing leaders currently through the league, obviously Christian McCaffrey with 510 after week 5. He's the number 1 running back currently in the league. It's going to be a great rest of the season for the 49ers football if they can stay this healthy, and obviously, knock on wood, everybody stays healthy. Quarterbacks stay healthy. I love it, man. I love it. I love that they beat the Cowboys, and the way they did it was even better. Everybody at work on Monday was very quiet.
I forget you live in Dallas, yeah.
But yeah, so I enjoyed that one. But let's get into Domo's team, Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
First loss in 36 years between the Raiders and Packers.
Monday Night Football, or you want to talk about Saturday's Big 12? Anyways, no, Monday Night Football. I got you. So,
dude, you've had a rough week, bro.
Sorry. I started out saying that I had a rough weekend. My team's lost, but I had a good weekend, but my team's lost. Anyways,
That was Domo all weekend. Every time.
Just FYI,
no,
before we get to the Packers,
it was me punching my steering wheel every time.
the Rangers have moved on. The Rangers have swept the Orioles.
There you go.
FYI.
There you go.
Go ahead, Domo.
All right, so with Green Bay, look, let me tell you something. So, my expectations for Green Bay this year, we aren't going to the Super Bowl and nothing like that. And if I remember correctly, before the season started, I said that they're going to have a good record but not make the playoffs. So this isn't surprising me at all. Not saying like I'm some magician, but at the same time, it looked good. I was surprised game 1. Game 2, if I remember correctly, was the Saints. They came back, but it kind of started going downhill. Right now, Jordan Love, 8 touchdowns, 6 picks. The last 5
Yikes, I did not know it was that bad.
Huh?
I didn't know that it was that bad.
Well, they're 2-3, so I guess it's not like absolutely terrible. They've won 2 games, but at the same time, what I was getting at is 8 touchdowns, 6 picks, and in the last 2 games, Jordan Love has thrown 5 picks. So 6 picks, 5 total in the last 2 games. That's not a good look. I looked at the stats for Aaron Rodgers on his first full rookie season. Like, he played a couple of games under Brett Favre, but like 2 games here, 2 games there. But his first full season was 2007, I believe. He had 28 touchdowns and 13 picks. That's not, I mean, he had way more touchdowns than picks, but at the same time, I don't know what it was 5 games in. I guess what I'm getting at is I'm not surprised at the win-loss record. It's only 5 games. We'll have to see what happens. But what does shock me is the 6 picks, 5 of them being the last 2 games. That worries me. It would worry anybody if you're a fan or a coach or whatever of the team. Like 5 picks in 2 games, 3 of them being last night. That's where I'm at. So I still don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they could still have a good record. And I think Jordan Love's figuring it out, just like I thought Green Bay was going to do right now. They are beat up, just like every team. I will say, though, that after week 1, Green Bay was super beat up. For some reason, I don't know why. Bakhtiari's out again, of course. But on both sides
For
of
the season, too.
Yeah, oh, yeah. No, he's done. He's out for the season. And Green Bay, from what I saw, was trying to get like some leverage on trades, but he's done. Like, he has to have another surgery. He's done. So that's why I was joking about he'd probably go to the Jets with Rodgers, new leg, everything, and maybe it'll work. Check in next year; it'll probably happen. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm rambling here, but I'm not surprised. It's going to be a struggle. You got to think about it. You went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers. It's more than just one person playing the game. I get it, but you went from Brett Favre for what, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 years. Aaron Rodgers, fucking 17, 18 years. Now you're Jordan Love. Couple good games, and now it's starting to look bad. And that's it. That's what it's going to be. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm not surprised. The interceptions worry me, but we'll see. It's only 5 games in. We'll see. It's looking bad right now, but we'll see.
Yeah, still plenty of football left for him to get it together, I guess, for Jordan Love.
Oh,
he can stop throwing picks moving forward, and then he'll have a good season.
Give me 1 second. I saved it. Hold on. Sorry. This is what I was going to say. Aaron Rodgers text Jordan Love.
I thought he texted you.
No, he did text me, but I'm not allowed to talk about that. He texted Jordan Love last night. I sent Jordan a text message last night. He's going to be around a while. The Packers are going to get this team fixed. So he left it. It was on the Pat McAfee show. He left it pretty open to suggestion or whatever the saying is. But he basically told Love, like, dude, you're going to be fine. The Packers are going to figure it out. And that shows that Aaron Rodgers leaving the Packers, he believes in that coaching staff, the ownership, and the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's looking pretty bad for the Packers right now. But like I said before, when Aaron Rodgers took over full time after Favre left, he didn't go to the Super Bowl first year. He didn't have a great year. If I remember right, they missed the playoffs. you got to build up, and definitely Jordan Love. He sat behind Rodgers for a couple years, just like Rodgers sat behind Favre for a couple years, and there you go. And Green Bay's been spoiled. They've been very spoiled. 2 quarterbacks in over 30 years, and they're both Hall of Famers. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm not worried.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, and I just hope it doesn't get worse. But I'm not worried. I'm not surprised, and it'll be better. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, but it'll be better.
I think that, like, as a fan for any team, right? We're just strictly speaking Green Bay. As a Green Bay fan that you are or whatever, you came into it already knowing, hey, it's going to be probably a couple tough years or a couple. At least this season's going to be tough because obviously we just lost Aaron Rodgers, a rookie or not a rookie QB, but first time starter QB. You know, he has to take control of this dynasty or this team that's known to be a threat in the NFC. So now there's a lot of pressure, but at least as a fan, and there's probably thousands and thousands of fans that think the same way. Like, hey, you know what? This season may not be our season, but we'll get it together and move forward in the next year or so, you know, and you build around a young QB in Jordan Love, or you build around a running back, or you build up that defense, and then, you know, nobody knows what's going to happen in a couple years. But Aaron Rodgers texting you and him that is pretty cool because that's like super motivational.
Aaron Rodgers didn't tell me that. He said a bunch of extra shit that I can't tell you, but he did text me. He did text him that, and that went public. I'm not a snitch. I don't rat on anybody, so that's why I keep it.
Yeah, you're like, I signed an NDA, so I can't say nothing.
I got it in that. Man. So I can't say nothing.
Yeah, but you know what? That's that though, bro. Yesterday, when I saw it, that it was like the Raiders' first win over the Packers in 36 years is insane to me, dude.
Yeah.
That's older than I am, so like that's old.
Me too. By 1 year, depending on when that win was, it was a year or just less than a year. So same thing.
Yeah. So
it's.
But I did want to say this just a little bit because it's the Raiders and stuff like that, right? But
the Raiders.
Jimmy G, right? Jimmy G is also not a good QB. And I'm saying this because I know Carlos, our fellow, listens to our episodes. And you guys were very pro Jimmy G. If Jimmy G was healthy, let him stay with the Niners. Sign him back up or whatever. And you guys aren't the only ones. There's a lot of 49er fans still that wanted Jimmy G back because they didn't trust
in the process of Brock Purdy. Though? Like, you think he's that bad? I don't
think he's bad. I just
don't think he's good.
I don't know, like if it was a gut feeling, but I knew that he just wasn't. I don't know, like Brock Purdy's already played like better in my opinion. You know what I mean?
And I think a lot of people, in your opinion, I think a lot of people agree with you, and I do agree with you as well. But let me ask you this: so when Brock Purdy came in, you automatically knew that he's way better than Jimmy G?
No, hell no. I was scared.
Okay, all right. That's all.
I just said what I was saying is when Jimmy G was coming back, like when he was on his health track to come back in, I was like, I don't. Like, Brock Purdy's doing good. Obviously, Trey Lance was shit, too, in my opinion. And damn it, I gotta stop saying that. But Jimmy G shows his true colors because, he's got 7 interceptions right now, 6 TDs. But I just didn't. I don't know. I don't see him as the face of an organization. He was behind Tom Brady, which is obviously the greatest of all time to play that position. But I never saw him as the face of an organization, and I still don't. I still don't think that he's going to be the face of the Las Vegas Raiders. It doesn't make sense to me for him to be leading a franchise. Like, I feel like he's just more reliable as a backup.
Well, he's more reliable getting the ladies, right? He's a good-looking dude.
True.
He's a good-looking dude. You go out with him, the ladies are going to come around. If you're a single guy, which I'm not, I don't think any of us are right now. But if you want to meet some women, you go hang out with Jimmy G.
Yeah, so
they'll be
with
there.
Jimmy G. But if you want a Super Bowl ring, you don't hang out with him.
If you like football, you don't hang out with him. If you're trying out for a team, you don't hang out with him.
Yeah, but that would be our Week 5 recap. Let's get into our Week 6 picks, and then we go into our top 3.
Y'all started. I gotta go pee real quick.
Okay, you're good. I'll do my picks first, Chris. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs beating the Broncos. I'm going to go undefeated this week.
You already started off bad, homie.
What? Chiefs over Broncos?
No, I'm saying what you
What?
said though. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go Chiefs over Broncos. I'm gonna
Watch
go.
they lose.
I'm gonna go with.
Oh, they're at Arrowhead though. So.
Oh,
That's
dude,
gonna be
I'm
an
gonna lose.
assassination.
Watch, I'm gonna lose because of this one. This is the one I'm gonna lose on. I'm gonna go with the Eagles over the Jets,
Okay, I can see that.
and then I'm gonna go with. I feel like it's gonna be the opposite. Watch, I just didn't want to say it. And then I'm gonna go with the 49ers over Cleveland.
Those are all safe picks, bro. I don't think a single
I
one of
know.
those picks is like risky.
I have a feeling that it's gonna be the Philly.
You
game.
think so?
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Okay, I'll go.
My gut is
I'll go.
always right.
Domo. Domo, you want to go? No. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna go. I will go with a non-safe bet. I'm gonna go Miami over Carolina because Carolina's crazy good right now, bro.
Are we watching the same games, bro?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Miami over Carolina. Miami's killing it. You know what? I'm actually gonna choose the Texans this week. I'm going Texans over New Orleans.
I was gonna pick
One of my
them
good
too,
buddies
so
is
I
actually
like
gonna
that.
be there, so it's gonna be dope. And then I
Okay.
will go with, I want to say it's gonna be a boring game, but I'm gonna go Vegas over the Patriots.
I feel like the Patriots
You think
are gonna win. No,
They're both gonna lose.
they're gonna both lose. They're both of their buses are gonna be stopped, and they just can't show up to the game. So they just both take an L that
Yeah.
week. All right, so you have Miami, Houston, and then you
Yeah,
have Vegas.
correct.
All right, Domo, your
Domo.
turn, buddy.
Domo DB.
I got. Huh? I got a. I'm taking all home teams. I'm taking the Chiefs over
Okay.
the Broncos,
Okay.
Okay.
Dolphins over the Panthers. I feel like both of those picks are locks. I feel like anything can happen, but I feel like those are locks.
Yeah.
And based off the Bears win, I'm going to take the Bears over the Vikings.
Okay.
And the Bears are at home.
Oof. Okay,
Don't
Bears
don't
over
give me
Vikings
that
is
shit.
gonna be the.
You're
It's gonna
like-
be the toss up.
I know, but
No, I think that is like out of all the picks, like there's always one that you're
You're
like.
iffy about?
Personally, for me, I'm always like, I don't know, it could go either way. I feel like that one could go either way, but I think that the Bears are
I'm
at home.
just-
You said.
yeah, the Bears are at home, and after their win on Thursday night, 40 points they put up, whatever, 4 touchdowns. I feel like, and the Vikings are still struggling. So
Yeah.
I'm taking the Bears.
Okay, so yeah, at home I can see that win. All right,
Just
so
don't tell
Domo's
me,
got
don't tell
Chiefs.
anybody. Don't tell anybody. I'm taking the Bears.
I'm gonna text Aaron Rodgers right now, but I have the wrong Aaron Rodgers.
He
I work
already, he
with a
already
guy
called,
whose
he already
name is-
called me and cussed me out. Just like, Aaron Rodgers, shut the fuck up, all right? You're out of this division. Get the fuck out of here. So I told him.
So that is our week 6 picks. All right, so we got those locked in. Let's go into our top 3, and we will wrap this week's up. Also, WWE Fastlane was a fun watch. It was pretty cool. Carlito is back. The Undertaker just came back on
that's
NXT.
right,
So that was pretty cool. AEW is going off. If you guys are AEW fans, watch that. Premier League is going off. Arsenal, come on, baby. Let's do this. Let's go to our top 3. We're actually going to go with top 3 fan bases. So fans that you just know are either like super dedicated to their team, just hardcore fans. You guys want to start? Or do you have yours or no?
I have mine. I don't know if you want me to go.
Okay, go ahead, Chris. I'll close it out.
Okay, I will go with my number 3 is going to be in the NFL, and I will actually go with the Philadelphia Eagles. My number 2 is going to be football related, real football related. It's going to be Barcelona. It's a toss up between these two, but it's going to be Barcelona, and my number 1 is going to be Real Madrid. So,
Those are both very dedicated
Yes.
fans. So either way,
yeah, I don't think you could go wrong there.
I like that.
I didn't
pretty
choose
cool.
like a country team, for like the World Cup, because that's just too much.
Yeah, that's every 4 years.
But yeah, that's my top 3. I have a bunch of honorable mentions, but
Oh God, Domo, are you ready with yours?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. It's kind of sloppy, but I'll say number 3 is going to be. I'd say the Packers. They got a lot of fans everywhere, at least in North America. where we're at.
Yeah.
Every game that's on television, if the Packers are playing, they're at that game. There are Packer fans everywhere. The next I'll say is the Steelers, because they definitely have fans everywhere, NFL wise.
Mm.
And number one, at least for our region, I would say the New York Yankees. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
They've won a lot. They've had a lot of good players, and they know the pinstripes. Everybody knows the pinstripes.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Yankee one's a good pick. So I'm going to go with number 3 being Boston Red Sox.
Nice.
I
think the Red Sox have.
That's my honorable mention.
The Red Sox have a very strong fan base. And number 2, so this one was kind of a toss-up for me, but because I don't know how loyal they were or whatever, but I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs with Chiefs Kingdom. Even before the Super Bowls, I just felt like going to Arrowhead and experiencing the fans there is crazy. And then my number 1 is going to be the Seahawks. Especially the Legion of Boom era with the 12th
Even
man
now, though?
with the Seahawks. Yeah, I still think that they get loud, like really loud over there, open stadium. I think, yeah, like with that era, definitely, right? But now maybe hit or miss. And then my honorable mention for that though is the original 12th man, which is the A&M Aggies.
That's a good one.
The Aggies are a huge organization, more like a cult. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube. But you guys have any honorable mentions or no?
I was gonna say the Dodgers. A lot of people wear Dodgers uniforms. Yeah. Yankees, Red Sox, but also the oh my goodness, never mind. Take it away. The Lakers and Celtics. I see a lot of people with that on.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna go with another honorable mention. I'm actually gonna go with wrestling fans. Whether you're WWE or AEW or WCW, when that thing was alive, I think wrestling fans are very passionate and they pop off when they need to. Obviously, everybody got over wrestling, but for the people that still follow it and watch it, I feel like they're very dedicated to the entertainment side of it. Domo, do you have an extra one?
It's got one. It's hockey related, and hockey started today.
Yes.
Nikita Kucherov for the Lightning opened up the scoring for the NHL. Got the first goal of the season.
Nice.
Anyways, I'm going back to the Montreal Canadiens, Canadian team way back in the day. They have some crazy amount of cups, but not all the cups count to what the cups are now with the NHL.
Now.
But yeah, Montreal the Canadiens. That's a loyal fan base. They've been shitty for a while now. But they've won a lot of cups, and they've been around since black and white TV and maybe before that. So,
yeah. Well, hockey fans, especially the Canadian team hockey fans, like the original teams, definitely very passionate. And hockey fans in general are very passionate. So, that's our top 3 for this week. Top 3 fan bases. Let us know in the comment section or whatever if you guys have better picks than that, which you probably do. But yeah, that wraps up our episode for this week. Again, thanks for all the support. Thanks for following us and liking us on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. We're trying to post everything every week, be as consistent as possible. If there's stuff that you guys think that we should do better in, let us know, because that's how we grow and that's how we get our name out there. So like it, share with a friend, subscribe. Look forward to football this weekend. MLB playoffs closing up for some teams. The Rangers have advanced to the championship series, and they will wait on the winner between Houston and Minnesota, which we will find out on Wednesday. So have a good rest of your day. If you're watching this on Friday, have a blessed weekend. Enjoy yourself. Spend some family time. Go take a pumpkin patch picture with your kids. And if you don't have kids, take your dog. And if you don't have a dog,
go by yourself.
Don't take your cat
because
your cat doesn't like going outside. Just go by yourself. Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, that would be our episode for today. Chris, take us out with a song. We will catch you guys next week. Peace.